Hi, this is Amy Hummel Van Gundy with the Runner's Lounge, bringing you another episode of On the Run. Tonight's topic is dealing with injuries, part 2. So the last time that I talked to you on this topic, I was about a few days out from my knee scope, and now I am at day 7 post-knee surgery. I have a shiny new under the kneecap surface with no bone spurs, cartilage, loose bodies, or arthritis. And I am in the process of fully recovering from that. And today was my first day back into my normal routine, so getting kids ready for summer activities, dropping them all over, going to work, walking through many meetings, sitting uncomfortably for hours on end in small rooms with no windows, repeating the process at pickup, and then scrambling to get kids to evening activities. So I am back into the routine. And I will tell you, tonight when I got home, I wanted to crawl somewhere into a hole and take a nap with a big ice on my knee. But instead, I found myself at this little quarter-mile walking trail, close to my kids' activities where they are for the evening, and I found myself walking. And as I walked, I really thought about some of the same things that make me successful in running, of how I've applied them to deal with my injuries, because I've been dealing with knee injuries now for about 6 months. So I thought I'd share them with you tonight. There's 4. The first one is get a good support network. Just as when you're running and you have supportive runners all around you, make sure that when you're injured, you have the same support network. And that support might include other runners who are injured, who have been through the same injury. It might be doctors or PTs. It might be family members. But someone who can help show you and remind you of when you're doing well and when you're doing worse. Tonight after work, I thought maybe I had taken a step back, but I got a jolt of positive energy from my kids who turned to me and said, "Mom, you're actually walking normally." And I realized that all that wondering about today actually did me good. Second component is keep moving, or get moving and keep moving, I should say. As I mentioned, I was tired tonight. I was tired, my knee was tired, but I found myself almost subconsciously at this walking trail. I thought I would come and sit for a bit, but I found myself actually walking a mile. So day 7 post-knee, I'm actually just pleased to death with myself that I could cover that mile, because I would say the week before surgery, I thought I could do anything a few days after, but 2 days after surgery, I was hoping I could just make it to the bathroom without falling over. And even 2 days ago, I wondered how I would make it into work from my car. So I'm excited to have made it through a full day of work, and also 1 mile walking. And I did it little by little, telling myself to first go 1/8 of a mile, then 1/4 of a mile, then 1/2 a mile, and I just kept going because motion is good for everybody. Same with our running. When we go out there and run, we know we just got to get started and do what feels good. The third component is break down your injury training into smaller parts. Just like you break down your own training plans for races into smaller parts like base building or speed, taper, etc. With injury recovery, I find that I need to break down my injury recovery plan into smaller parts. For example, I broke it down to a couple days after surgery, a week after surgery, 2 weeks after surgery, and then I'm going to do weeks 3 and 4, and then 5 and 6. I think it's the only way I can keep sane. And it also goes with the third point, which is be flexible. As I mentioned, I think I had unrealistic expectations of how fast I could recover from the surgery. But my mind has changed many times over the last few days of what I'm capable of, and I know that will continue as my knee recovers, simply because I haven't been through it before. So definitely break it down into smaller pieces and be flexible. And the fourth is get knowledgeable. I had to laugh that almost everybody who sent me a card or a note who called me ended their note with, "Listen to your doctor's orders." And it's simply because they know me and they know that I'm an impatient patient, and I generally don't listen to my doctor's orders. I will say this time, for the most part, I listened to them, but I also did a lot of research on my own and asked other people who had been through this and looked and asked for their advice of what to expect and what to do. Because I don't think any one person has everything there is to know about an injury or recovery, and no one knows me as well as I do. So I will say that that's the fourth component with injury as well as with any running, is listen to a lot of people and then do what's right for you. So that is the end of the On the Run segment. I wish you're running well, and until next time, just keep running.